Karena itu di Welcome to Chopstick Travel. I'm Luke Martin, and today we have another episode from Indonesia. Today we are in Bukit Tinggi in the highlands of West Sumatra. And in this episode, we're going to be showing you some classic Minangkabau foods at some restaurants here in Bukit Tinggi. But also we're going to be going to the market, doing a little bit of shopping for some ingredients, and then taking them to a local village to have an authentic Minangkabau style village meal. It's gonna be a really great day. It is absolutely beautiful here, so make sure to stay tuned until the end because you're not gonna wanna miss it. So let's go. So we've come to kind of downtown Bukit Tinggi to get some breakfast. We were having something called Katupek Pical. So we were in the market looking for the Katupek place. This place is cool, look at this. We are at the little breakfast joint. It's directly inside of the vegetable market, and it's just really tight quarters in here. And they're serving Katupek Pical, which is a type of Indonesian salad. It's a mix of all kinds of interesting ingredients. So on the top here we have these little crackers, which are pink, and then we've got some mee, which is the noodles underneath, some shredded cabbage. There are some cassava leaves. There is a boiled egg. Get some of those crunchy little crackers. Try that. This is really good. It's really hearty and really flavorful, like full of flavor. Completely coats your mouth because of that peanut sauce. It's almost like a peanut butter, but I love it. It's so good for breakfast, actually. So I just had a very happy discovery, and that is this jackfruit that's hiding down here. So here in Indonesia, there's jackfruit in all kinds of different things. Oh, I might have to take the whole thing. It's kind of sticking together. So creamy, so soft. When they cook it down like that, it tastes so good. Wow, that was a good breakfast. And this is such a cool little spot. Really tight quarters right in the vegetable market. Love the atmosphere, and food is also really good. Check out all the different varieties of these limes. There's little tiny ones like this. There's some that are kind of lumpy. Of course, regular ones, yellow ones, orange ones. Oh man, so many kinds. I've never seen anything like that. So since we're having a village meal later today and we're in the market now, we're gonna buy some of the ingredients to cook with later. There's an abundance of ingredients. We're making a few different types of dishes, so let's see what we can get. We are at the shop that's selling all these different kinds of pastes, and I guess what you can do here is just tell them what you're cooking. So tonight we're going to be cooking jackfruit rendang. So we told them we wanted a rendang mixture, so she took a bunch of different pastes. So garlic paste, chili paste, onion paste, and then candle nut paste, a couple different spices, and she just mixes it up into her own blend here. And that's what we're going to cook tonight with the rendang. So it really saves a lot of time. You don't need to grind down those fresh ingredients, and it's such a colorful, cool little shop too. Another dish we are making is jengkol gulai. Jengkol are these right here. We just bought a big bag of them actually, and they've got two different kinds. One is an older jengkol, which works better for the gulai, so that's the one we got. So next up is this right here. This is really cool. This is called lankot, and it's all of the ingredients similar to what we just did with the rendang, but this is for the gulai. So it's got galangal inside, lemongrass, kaffir lime leaves, turmeric, all kinds of different things, and it's wrapped up in this little packet. So it's just easy to cook when you get home. That's so cool. I've never seen anything like that before. So now we are heading into the seafood portion of the market, and that is because we're cooking something called asam pade, and we need some fish for that.
2 kilo lah nak. Ya. Mata, kalau
We are up in the hills here in Bukit Tinggi. There's still an abundance of fresh seafood and lots of friendly locals. So we just bought some mackerel, about a kilo of mackerel for that asam pade. Really excited to try that dish. So now we need some jackfruit for that jackfruit rendang. We bought the rendang spice mixture, but we need the jackfruit.
Hah? Kubaan? Oh, cara mengubahnya. Nah. Nah.
So we are buying jackfruit now. We are going to be buying a young jackfruit, which is better for the rendang. But she also has these, which are the old jackfruit. She just gave me some of the fruit to try. Yeah. It's kind of bitter on the outside, but then the inside is very, very sweet. Yeah, that is tasty and good. We have the spices, we have the fish, we have the jackfruit. That's just about everything. Oh, the jengkol too, I almost forgot. But we're also gonna get coconut milk, but we'll get that in the village that we are doing the cooking later. This market is so cool. It is so vibrant and the locals are so friendly. What do you think of this market?
Oh man, this market's amazing. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's just stuff everywhere, but everything's fresh, everything is cheap. It's really cool.
Heading to the upper market to find a dessert called ampiang dadya. We're in the little shop that is serving ampiang dadya, and I have one of the main ingredients right here, and it's not bamboo, it's what's inside this bamboo, and that is water buffalo milk. So actually this is the milk from the water buffalo that is milked first thing in the morning before the calf has milked, and then it is put inside this bamboo, left at room temperature for 1 day to kind of ferment, and it's just stored right in this bamboo, and you can see it in there. It's not going anywhere. It's almost turned into like a yogurt or almost like a cheese even. So that's going to be mixed with some other ingredients for the ampiang dadya. So he started by soaking some rice husks in hot water. Then he tops it with that fermented water buffalo milk. Then he pours in quite a bit of brown sugar syrup, sprinkles a little bit of coconut on top, and here we have the final result. And let me tell you, that stuff smells really sour and strong. I haven't smelled anything like that since Harau in Mongolia. If you haven't seen those episodes, definitely go check them out. But let me give this a try here. Which is actually not nearly as strong a flavor as it is a smell. You can definitely taste a little bit of sourness. But it's really creamy, almost like a clotted cream, and then it's really sweet from all that brown sugar syrup that he poured on top. A little bit of coconut, and then those rice husks kind of just feel like oatmeal. Same texture, no flavor really. It's not as bad as I thought because the smell is really strong.
It does remind me a little bit of some of the stuff we were having in Mongolia, but overall, very nice with that brown sugar syrup.
Not my favorite dessert, but it wasn't bad. So there's one more thing we want to try in Bukit Tinggi before we head to the village, so we're gonna drive there right now. So this is our next stop here. It's famous for their duck, and just check out the scenery here. It is beautiful at the base of this canyon. Let's go try some duck. We have our duck, and this looks absolutely incredible. I was reading about this place online, and all I wanted to do was eat it when I was reading about it, and now I'm here, and it just looks even better than I could have imagined. So here it is. This is the duck, and you can see that green chili sambal just coating the outside of it, so much of it. And we've got 2 of the ducks, and then this beef curry too, with big chunks of fat. It looks like maybe some of the beef is dried, or maybe all of it is dried, and it's in this beautiful, rich coconut-based curry. Then over here, just some cucumbers. All right, I'm gonna go right in for the duck. Oh, it's actually kind of cold, which I wasn't expecting. So let me rip off some of the meat, and then get some of that green chili sambal, and then put that on my rice and try it. Even though it's served cold, it actually is kind of refreshing that way. The duck meat is super juicy and just fall off the bone tender, but it's all about that sambal, that green chili sambal on top. It's actually got a slight bitterness at first to it, which I wasn't expecting. Definitely spicy. All right, next up I'm gonna try some of this beef with this beautiful gravy. Pour that on my rice. Just a small piece of beef here. Let's try that. You can taste the coconut milk in there. It's definitely not as spicy as the duck. That beef, I'm not sure if it's dried or maybe it was just cooked a little bit too long, but it's got a chewiness to it. That's also very good, but definitely got to give it up for the duck. So we are right behind the duck restaurant. Here are the ducks. I don't think these are the ones that they're cooking now. That was some really tasty duck. Kind of feel bad saying that in front of them, but just check out this area here. It is absolutely beautiful. All these rice fields, rice paddies. We're going to head now to the village. It's gonna be a little bit of a drive, think about an hour, hour and a half. All right, we've made it to the village. That was about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer. And it was beautiful coming in here. This is called the Harau Valley. All these massive mountains around. Very simple village life. We're gonna go meet the family, give them the ingredients now. Hello. We're just meeting the family and checking out the house, sitting on this little platform that's actually elevated above the rice paddies, and just beautiful, beautiful views. It is so gorgeous here. Just getting all settled in and having a kopi before we do the cooking. Perfect way to be greeted into the village. Oh yeah, no sugar, no milk, just pure coffee. That'll wake you up after the long drive. Just beautiful views. I'm just blown away. So we did bring some jackfruit, but we're gonna get a little bit extra. They've got some jackfruit trees here in the village, so we're gonna go cut one down. All right, she just used a big piece of bamboo to pull this one out of the tree. This is the young jackfruit, which is perfect for the jackfruit rendang. Whoa, look at how sappy it is on the top. Wow. So she also has a mature jackfruit here, which she just cut up to let us try. This one's good for the fruit, not so much for cooking. Let's try it. It's almost got like a banana flavor with like a slight durian flavor too. And then the texture is not like either of those. It's very firm, almost crunchy. That's tasty. That jackfruit is really, really good. It is almost like banana when it's fresh out of the tree like that. So we're also gonna be making that coconut milk that we need for cooking all the different dishes.
Terima kasih. Sama-sama. So fresh coconut water right inside this freshly opened coconut. I love coconut water. Oh, wow. That's so nice.
So this is the part we're going to be using to make the coconut milk, all that white flesh on the inside. It's like a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
We're having a mini fruit feast. Now we've got sour sop, which is one of my favorite fruits. So good. Oh, that's so good. I don't know if I've ever had it that fresh. It's like a little bit sour, but very sweet at the same time. Okay, we have some more jackfruit. We've got the coconut milk. We're heading back into the kitchen. This place is so cool. Oh, spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sambal?
Yeah, mado.
So they are just prepping all of the ingredients, making sambal using fresh chilies, some garlic, and then just a rock and a stone plate to grind into a fine paste. Then they are also grinding up the coconut meat to make that coconut milk, and different ladies cutting up onions, cutting up that young jackfruit, just getting all the things prepped for cooking. So the first dish we've put together is the asam pade, which we're going to use the fish for. They're cooking it on wood fire. She added in all kinds of ingredients, starting with that sambal, lemongrass, tons of onions, lots of different herbs that I didn't recognize, and it's going away behind me here. It smells really smoky and good, and it looks like it's going to be spicy. One key ingredient for the asam pade is tamarind, so we just threw some tamarind in there, and that's going to give it the asam, the sourness.
Iwan mau buka joggingnya jadi.
Itu kunyit. Itu apa itu? Ada dalam plastik. Ayo itu.
So the final ingredient for the asam pade is those mackerel that we bought at the market this morning. They kind of cut them into quarters and then shove them right in that soup, and that's going to boil away now. That's finished. It's just going to cook.
Yo.
Udah gua kak. Nah, orang terkarisma tuh kak. Si Al. Udah. Iya. Si Al yang awaknya apa? Karla itu di deko kemigaraan Karla itu apa? Karolap.
Hati-hati, panas.
Oh, good. Yeah, tastes good. Trying the asam pade. A little bit sour. You can definitely taste the seafood in there. And not too spicy. So now we are moving on to the jengkol. She started by boiling those jengkols down for about an hour and then kind of smashing them, flattening them out. And then the base of this jengkol dish is using a different type of sambal, which she included a little bit of ginger, a little bit of turmeric, and garlic and chili, of course, too. And now she's just mixed the grinded coconut with some water and then getting that milk, that coconut milk, for the base of this curry, this jengkol gulai. The jengkol gulai is just about done. We added in that coconut milk with all of those ingredients, then threw some jengkol in there, and actually they went out to the garden and grabbed some cassava leaves because it goes really well with this dish. So that's just boiling away here. So while we were waiting for the food to cook, we heard a durian drop in the back garden and we ran out to grab it, and actually it has a big chunk missing from the outside, and apparently that's a squirrel trying to get at it, and that's actually a good sign because the squirrels can find which one are the sweetest. They smell it. So I've got it here. Let me try it out. Oh yeah, that was very sweet, very creamy. Oh man. So our third and final dish is the jackfruit rendang. She started with a third different type of sambal, so different ingredients than the other two sambals. However, of course, using chili, this time with onions, garlic, salt, and then added it with coconut milk, some kaffir lime leaves, and then that bag of paste that we got from the market this morning. And this is going to cook away with the jackfruit for about 3 hours. So we get a little bit of a wait. I think we're going to explore the village a little bit. So she just tasted the rendang mixture, noticed that it was missing something, headed outside and grabbed some lemongrass, threw it in the pot, and that is the way to cook rendang. Fresh lemongrass right from the back garden. Because the rendang is a little bit tricky and we have to cook it for a long time, we are using gas to cook the rendang. But they have gas here, but they chose to do the other two dishes on the wood fire just because it tastes better that way. So one really interesting tip about cooking rendang is you need to stir constantly the mixture of coconut milk with all of those different herbs and spices until you see the oil start to release from the coconut. That is the time to put your other ingredient in, whatever it may be. This time we're using young jackfruit, but you can use chicken, you can use beef, you can even use potato. So we've got the jackfruit in, it's cooking. I think we're gonna wait for a little while, even though I really want to eat this right now. So while we wait for the food to cook, particularly that rendang, because it takes about 3 hours, we are going to do a short little hike out to a waterfall that's near the village. We made it to the waterfall. The breeze coming off this thing is incredible. Got our feet in the water. That is gorgeous. Sumatra is a paradise. Back at the house, so I think it's time to go check on how the rendang's doing. Alright, the rendang is done. It looks so good. You can see that it's got that rich brown color now after being cooked down. So I think it's time to sit down and we're all gonna feast. I have my plate assembled. We're sitting outside. It is time for dinner, and I am so excited to try these dishes. We have several dishes, but the 3 main dishes that we saw them cook are here. So the first is the jengkol with cassava leaves, gulai, and then over here we have the asam pade, but it's also known as asam pedas, but here in Minangkabau it's called asam pade. And then we have the rendang jackfruit, which just looks insanely good. I'm gonna have to save that for last, even though I really don't want to. But let's try some of the cassava leaves with the jengkol gulai first. Jengkol. Oh yeah. Oh man, the jengkol's got kind of like a crisp bean texture, and then you can really taste that kaffir lime leaf and lemongrass coming through there. Very soft, and then that cassava leaf is just soaked with the gulai sauce. That's really good. Next up, try some of this mackerel that we got at the market this morning with the asam pade. Try to not get any bones if I can. And then get some of the rice with that sauce. Oh yeah. That fish is so flaky. You taste that sour tamarind in there. All the sambal, a little bit spicy definitely. But man, that fish tastes awesome, super fresh. Alright, last but definitely not least, the rendang jackfruit. I'm gonna grab a big bite here. Oh man. Wow, that is insane. It is just coated in that rendang sauce. You can feel it. It's got this interesting texture to it, almost like a little bit gritty. You can taste the coconut, it's so rich with the coconut, and then the lemongrass, and then that jackfruit literally feels like beef. It's got that meaty texture to it. It's an incredible ingredient that can be cooked like that. Wow, this is a meal to remember, and I gotta give it up for this jackfruit rendang. This is like the ultimate Minangkabau food. This very well may be the best dish of the trip to Indonesia so far, this jackfruit rendang. I'm just in love. I've gone back for, I think, 4 servings already. It is just so good. The way that young jackfruit texture keeps when it cooks, it stays firm, so it feels like meat. It feels like beef, exactly. And then just the flavors coming from that sauce are just out of this world. It's a little bit spicy, it's a little bit sour, and it's a little bit sweet. And then it's just aromatic with that coconut. It is unreal. Well, that was definitely worth the wait. I'd have to say that's the top meal of 2020 so far. In particular, that jackfruit rendang. How good was that, Sabrina?
Oh my gosh, this might be one of the best dishes I've ever had. Just
I agree.
Jackfruit rendang. That's amazing.
So good.
I love it.
And the fun never stops here in the village. They just invited us to go fishing in the little pond out back here, so let's try it out. Good? Yeah. There you go. Cool. Whoa. Keep?
Nice catch.
No.
No? Okay.
Already.
Yeah, we already have enough, so we're gonna throw this one back. He took my worm.
Yeah, but there's more here.
That's okay.
Try one more time.
Bye-bye. Catching those fish was a lot of fun. This village is just beautiful, full of friendly people, and the food we had was absolutely mind-blowingly delicious. Today was an awesome day of exploring here in Bukit Tinggi. Especially love this village. But that's going to be it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon because we have more videos from Indonesia coming very soon. If you want to book a tour here in West Sumatra, you can click the link down in the description box for Roni's Tours. That's who help us fix this entire thing. So big thank you to Roni, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Chopstick Travel. Bye-bye.
Bye.